In 2017, the top 8 richest men became wealthier than the half of the world's population. Imagine 8 people having more wealth than almost 4 billion people. That's the whole different level of the integral inequality. And this year, that inequality got worse. The number of the billionaires at Forbes 35's annual list of the world's wealthiest exploded to 2,755 to 660 more than the year ago. Another they are worth 13.1 trillion, up from 8 trillion on the 2020 list. 2,755 people have an equal wealth as the entire GDP of China, the most populated country in the world, and the world's second largest economy. Most of the wealth is now tied to the hands of the few people, and that's not by accident. Most people are not financially literate since that's not something we are taught at school or by our parents. We are just expected to be good with the money just like that. I know that it sounds silly, but that's why most of us go into so terrible financially. That's why most of the wealth is tied up in the hands of the few individuals. So here in this video we are going to do something to fix that. We are going to look at money lessons that people learn too late in life. We are not talking about the basic conceptions such as the inflation or the compounded interest. We will dig much deeper and find out the lessons that you learned earlier in life. You are probably going to be on the right side of the world, on the wealthier side. So if you are ready to give this video the thumbs up, and make sure you check out our second channel called Tuesday Thoughts, where we also post the videos about the investments and the money, but also about the other things that you will find interesting. If you enjoy this channel, you will definitely find our second channel interesting. So get ahead and subscribe, and now let's get back to video. First, be the outlier. When I got into the investments for the first time, I started with the trading. I would use all my knowledge to analyze the search company, and I remember I invested $300 into that company. All that money I barely saved in the last few months. Imagine how nervous I was. Right after the purchasing the stocks, the price started falling, and I got more nervous. I was looking for the screen at the counting every dollar that I was losing, but I decided to hold at least for another day. The next day the price fell by the 20%, so I got out and made a loss. I lost pennies, but back then even $50 was a lot of money to me. But I decided not to give up and gave it another shot. Unfortunately, I lost again. Then where I thought that investing isn't for me, and that's what happens to a lot of the people, including myself. You try something once and compare yourself to others who are much more successful in this, and you say maybe it is just not for me. Maybe I should try something else. But the reality is you can literally be good at anything as long as you practice it enough. In fact, that's not the idea of the 10,000 hours rules, has Emerald. If you put 10,000 hours into anything, you are guaranteed to be good at that. And I can say that from my experience, because after many years of investments and learning, I began to understand the market and making much better investment decisions. And that's what people don't realize early in life. They jump from one thing to another, thinking that's not for them, they are not good enough, they perform poorly financially, when the reality all they had to do is to stick to one thing long enough to become financially successful. Second, wealth can be created out of nowhere. When you grow up in a poor family, you live in the world of scarcity and limitations. There is only so much of the everything, including wealth. I'm going to be rich, then someone else sound be poor. We are poor because other people have more than they should have. And that mindset literally pushes you to fight for what is already there instead of creating what isn't there. Most of the world's richest people became so wealthy by not competing in the same traditional industries, but went to create the new industries that weren't there in the first place. Elon Musk is probably the best example, who literally invented the electric new industry called aerospace or electric cars. In fact, all of the companies he started, PayPal, the boring company, SpaceX, Tesla, Neuralink, are about to create something new, solving problems that isn't solved yet. That's why his net worth is $150 billion. It's not just about him. Every successful business is about involving something new, from Uber to Airbnb. Even smaller companies like the Robinhood or even Angry Birds, they added value to the world in the different ways. They didn't take anything from anyone. They just made the world a better place and got rewarded for that. So stop thinking that you're poor because someone else is rich and start thinking about how you can add value to the world. So be a paradox of choice. If you are like me, then you hate going to restaurants, because every time I go to the restaurants I would take a look at the menu, and I would get frustrated by the numbers of the choices they have. I would end up spending more time choosing what in order instead of the actually eating. I have already spent the entire day making decisions, and I came to the restaurants to enjoy and not paralyze my brain again. And that's known as the paradox of choice. Having a lot of the choices might seem great, but it has its disadvantages. In fact, it's actually one of the main reasons why a lot of the people can excel at what they do and achieve some level of the financial success. Take an example of investing. Make the market is filled with opportunities, companies, to cryptos, to other financial instruments. But because there are so many of them, you can't choose to stick to just one of them. As soon as you get deeper into all of them, another one hits the news, and before you even understand what's going there, cryptos are all over the news. So you end up just following the news without actually taking actions on any of them. A lot of people criticize Warren Buffett for not investing in the tech companies early or avoiding Bitcoin, saying that he is the old man who is not catching up with the world. But that's not the case. He knows what are so many opportunities, but he also understands the paradox of choice. The sheer amount of the choices will get him to nowhere. So he is just focused on the sector that he excels. That's why his net worth is over $100 billion, while those who criticize him don't have 1% of his net worth. Estimate your choices as much as you can, especially when it comes to your personal life. I know people who would wake up and spend 20 minutes thinking about what to have to do breakfast, and then another 20 minutes to choose what to watch on the YouTube while having the breakfast. I don't want to waste so much time and willpower to stuff that doesn't matter. So I have the same breakfast every morning, and I choose from the 3 seats of my closest, and I spend my time doing stuff that actually matters and makes me happier. Fourth, everyone is afraid. A lot of people tell me, your videos are awesome, you are so good, I wish I could be making videos like you. Only if I was good as you. I would start a channel as well if I wasn't afraid. Do you really think that I was this good when I started? Of course not. In fact, I was afraid to be judged. Just go back to watch my first video. The animations on my videos were absolutely horrible, and my language was terrible. Putting out content there you could be judged by the entire world is something normal to be afraid of. But that's the difference. We are all talented and full of the great ideas. The difference is that some of us acknowledge that fear and do it despite the fact that we are afraid. And others assume that you should not do it if you are afraid. The most important lessons I have ever learned is do whatever you are afraid of. Once you are do a few times, what fears either will be gone, or you will learn how to manage it. Once you learn how to fight your fears, you will start that business. You will start investing, you will start growing, and you will never be in the despite desperate financial positions. Don't work hard for the money of you're like most people. You grew up being programmed that you have to work hard for money, but working hard alone will never make you rich. How do we know that? Take a look at the real world. There are the millions. No, make that billions of the people who slave away working their tails off all day and even all night long. Are they all rich? No. Are most of them rich? No. Are a lot of them rich? No. Most of them are broke or close to it. On the other hand, whom do you see louding around the country clubs of the world? Who spends their afternoons playing golf, tennis, or the saving? Who spends their days shopping and their weeks vacations? Rich people. People who don't work hard but let their money work hard for them. That's how you become financially independent. Yes, you do have to work hard for your money. For some people this is temporary situations, but for most people it's permanent. So the goal should always be in your mind that you are going to make and save enough money that you keep earning your money while you are playing golf. If you have enjoyed this video, we'll definitely enjoy the custom playlist I have created specifically for you that could potentially change your life. And now it's time to give this video a thumbs up so that it deserves, and make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.